Welcome, curious minds, to an unforgettable journey through New York City. Grab a coffee, sit back, and let's dive into the city that never sleeps. You won't want to miss a second. Our story begins in the early 1600s with the Lenape people, the original inhabitants of the New York area. In 1624, the Dutch founded New Amsterdam on the southern tip of Manhattan. They traded fur, built a wall for protection, yes, the very Wall Street, and laid the groundwork for a bustling settlement. Back then, the most traffic you'd encounter was a herd of beavers. In 1664, the British took over and renamed it New York after the Duke of York. The city started to grow rapidly. The grid system we see today began to take shape, although the streets were still filled with cows and chickens. Imagine getting stuck behind one of those on your morning commute. By the early 1700s, New York was a thriving port city. Slavery was a dark chapter during this time, with enslaved Africans making up a significant part of the population. The city's growth was also driven by its diverse immigrant population, a trend that continues to this day. Fast forward to the mid-1700s, and New York was buzzing with activity. The city played a pivotal role in the American Revolution. George Washington even made a dramatic escape from the British in 1776. Talk about an action hero moment. Imagine if he had to do that through today's subway system. He'd probably get stuck at rush hour. After the Revolution, New York briefly became the capital of the United States. On April 30th, 1789, George Washington took his oath of office as the first President of the United States at Federal Hall. It was a momentous occasion that cemented New York's place in American history. By the early 1800s, New York was booming. The construction of the Erie Canal in 1825 turned the city into a major trade hub, connecting the Atlantic Ocean to the Great Lakes, and thus began the era of rapid growth and skyscrapers. In the 1830s, immigration surged. The Irish fleeing the Great Famine and Germans seeking a better life flocked to the city. They brought their customs, cuisine, and culture, adding to the city's rich tapestry. By the mid-1800s, Central Park was designed as a green oasis amid the urban jungle. It opened in 1858 and quickly became the city's backyard, a place for relaxation and recreation, and probably the only spot in NYC where you're not dodging traffic or rats. Towards the end of the 19th century, New York underwent massive changes. The Brooklyn Bridge, completed in 1883, connected Manhattan and Brooklyn, revolutionizing transportation and commerce. The gift of the Statue of Liberty from France in 1886 became a symbol of freedom and democracy, welcoming millions of immigrants arriving through Ellis Island. The early 20th century saw the birth of the skyscraper era. The Flatiron Building, the Woolworth Building, and the Chrysler Building redefined the skyline. The Empire State Building, completed in 1931, stood as the tallest building in the world for nearly 40 years. Fun fact, King Kong once climbed the Empire State Building, and he didn't even have to pay rent. During the Great Depression, New York struggled but persevered. Public works projects like the Empire State Building provided jobs and hope. The city played a crucial role during World War II, with its ports and industries supporting the war effort. The 1950s marked a period of post-war prosperity and urban challenges for New York City. The city's economy was booming, and the population was growing rapidly. This era saw the construction of iconic structures like the United Nations headquarters, which opened in 1952, symbolizing New York's status as a global city. But it wasn't all glitz and glamour. The city faced significant urban challenges, including the construction of massive public housing projects. Robert Moses, the influential urban planner, was at the forefront of many controversial developments. His projects, such as the Cross Bronx Expressway, led to the displacement of many communities, particularly in the South Bronx, sparking debates about urban renewal and its impact on residents. The 1960s were a transformative decade for New York City, characterized by cultural revolution and social change. Greenwich Village became the epicenter of the counterculture movement, with artists, musicians, and activists gathering to challenge the status quo. Bob Dylan and other folk musicians performed in small venues, and the village became synonymous with artistic expression. However, the city was also grappling with significant social issues. The civil rights movement gained momentum, and in 1964, the Harlem riots highlighted the deep racial tensions and economic disparities. Meanwhile, the construction of the World Trade Center began in 1966, symbolizing the city's ambitions and its role as a financial powerhouse. The 1970s were a tumultuous time for New York City, marked by economic decline and incredible resilience. The city faced a fiscal crisis in 1975, nearly leading to bankruptcy. With federal assistance and tough measures, the city managed to avert disaster, but the scars of this crisis were visible. Yet, amidst the challenges, New York's cultural scene flourished. The birth of hip-hop in the Bronx, with pioneers like DJ Kool Herc, transformed music and culture globally. Meanwhile, the punk rock movement took root at CBGB in the Bowery, with bands like the Ramones and Talking Heads making their mark. The infamous blackout of 1977 led to widespread looting, but it also demonstrated the community's resilience and unity in the face of adversity. The 1980s heralded a period of revival and renaissance for New York City. The city began to recover economically, driven by a booming financial sector. Wall Street thrived, and the stock market reached new heights, epitomized by the iconic image of traders celebrating on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. The real estate market also saw a resurgence, with developments like Battery Park City transforming the skyline. Times Square, once infamous for its seedy reputation, began its transformation into the vibrant, tourist-friendly hub we know today. However, the city still faced significant challenges. The crack epidemic led to a surge in crime, and homelessness became a visible and pressing issue. Despite these problems, New Yorkers showed remarkable resilience and community spirit. The 1980s also saw the rise of influential figures like Donald Trump, who became synonymous with New York's real estate boom, and Ed Koch, the larger-than-life mayor who symbolized the city's fighting spirit. The 1990s were a period of economic boom and cultural flourish for New York City. Under Mayor Rudy Giuliani's administration, the city saw significant drops in crime rates, making the streets safer and boosting tourism. The city's economy thrived, driven by Wall Street's continued success and a burgeoning tech sector. Culturally, the 1990s were vibrant. Broadway saw the emergence of blockbuster shows like The Lion King and Rent, attracting audiences from around the world. The arts flourished, with the rise of influential artists and the establishment of new cultural institutions. However, the city still grappled with issues like gentrification and the displacement of longtime residents. The rapid development of neighborhoods like Soho and the East Village transformed these areas, but also raised questions about affordability and community preservation. New York's nightlife also thrived in the 1990s, with clubs like Studio 54, revived in the late 80s, and Limelight becoming iconic destinations. The fashion industry, centered around 7th Avenue, also boomed, with designers like Calvin Klein and Donna Karan making iconic yellow taxis roam the streets. 2000s brought both tragedy and resilience. The September 11th attacks in 2001 were a devastating blow, but New Yorkers united in the face of adversity. The city rebuilt, with One World Trade Center rising as a symbol of strength and renewal. Throughout the 2010s, New York City continued to thrive. Tech startups flourished, and the city remained a global financial hub. Yet, challenges persisted. The city battled a persistent rat problem, foul smells from accumulated garbage, and homelessness. New York's rat population is so famous, they probably have their own subway cards by now. Today, New York City is a melting pot of over 800 languages and numerous religions, making it one of the most diverse places on Earth. Iconic sites like the Statue of Liberty, Central Park, and Times Square draw millions of visitors each year. The city's transportation system is a marvel. The Metropolitan Transportation Authority, MTA, runs one of the largest and most complex subway and bus systems in the world. Grand Central Terminal and Penn Station are major hubs, and 3 major airports, JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark, connect the city to the globe. Yet New York mysteries also abound. Did you know about the secret train platform under the Waldorf Astoria? Track 61 was used by President Franklin D. Roosevelt to discreetly enter the hotel, and beneath the bustling streets, there's a whispering gallery in Grand Central Terminal where you can hear secrets from across the room. Who knew? Even secret train platforms and whispering galleries are a thing in NYC. From the bright lights of Broadway to the tranquil paths of the High Line, New York City offers something for everyone. Events like the New Year's Eve ball drop in Times Square and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade are world-renowned. Each borough has its own unique charm. Manhattan is the cultural and economic heart. Brooklyn offers an artistic vibe. Queens is a tapestry of cultures. The Bronx is the birthplace of hip-hop and home to the Yankees. And Staten Island provides a more suburban feel. New York City has been home to numerous famous politicians, celebrities, and billionaires. Former mayors like Fiorello LaGuardia and Michael Bloomberg left lasting impacts. Celebrities like Robert De Niro, Jennifer Lopez, and Jay-Z have strong ties to the city. And as of today, New York boasts the highest number of billionaires in any city worldwide, including Michael Bloomberg and David Koch. Explore the ambitious developments shaping the future of the Big Apple. First up, Hudson Yards. This $25 billion project on Manhattan's west side is the largest private real estate development in U.S. history. Featuring a mix of office towers, residential buildings, and public spaces, Hudson Yards is home to the Vessel, a stunning honeycomb-like structure offering breathtaking views of the city. The development also boasts The Shed, a versatile cultural venue for art and performances. The East Side Waterfront development is an ambitious project that aims to revitalize the East River waterfront in Manhattan and Brooklyn. It encompasses various initiatives, including affordable housing, improved public transportation, and the creation of new green spaces. While still in the planning stages, it has the potential to significantly reshape this area. 2nd Avenue Subway. This long-awaited public transportation project aims to add a new subway line on the east side of Manhattan, easing congestion on existing lines. Though facing delays, upon completion, it will be a major improvement for commuters. New York City's journey from a Dutch settlement to a global metropolis showcases its resilience, diversity, and innovation. From its rich history to its ongoing evolution, the city remains captivating. Enjoyed this exploration? Hit subscribe for more intriguing videos about the world's most fascinating cities. Thanks for watching.